The SEC is about to drop a bombshell on the entire cryptocurrency space. This is the largest, most significant event to happen to cryptocurrency all year. If you are a cryptocurrency holder, you must watch this whole video. I will explain everything. Even if you just hold Bitcoin, or even if you just hold Bitcoin and Ethereum, Ripple, to help make themselves look more appealing in the eyes of the SEC, is claiming that Bitcoin and Ethereum are just as bad. Stay tuned, because we're going to debunk Ripple's FUD against Bitcoin. This is truly something that affects the whole space. Ripple, the company behind XRP, has announced that they fully expect to be sued by the SEC over the fact that XRP is an unregistered security. It's unusual the way this information came to light. Usually, it would be the SEC who would announce this. The SEC would file the paperwork with the data and the evidence, and then Ripple would respond. We will probably see the SEC make their official statement soon. To fully understand the impact of what we're facing, I'm going to play you a few clips. This is Charles Hoskinson, the creator of Cardano, articulating the bombshell that was just dropped on the entire cryptocurrency industry last night. Listen closely.
A bombshell just got dropped in the entire cryptocurrency space. Ripple, apparently, according to the SEC, or according to Ripple's interpretation of the SEC, is a security or something like a security. Who knows? It's a complex situation. Facts are quickly materializing, and we don't know much. Generally, the SEC is the one to announce this, not the company, and they file a lawsuit or something like that, and you have a companion document with their entire argument of what's going on, what measures they're seeking, the evidence they're presenting, and there's usually some form of a court involved. And for a large company, almost always this action is not out of the blue. It comes usually after failed negotiations with the company they're going after. Now, the reason why this is a big deal for the industry as a whole is that it may have a profound implication on how the SEC in the future views whether something is a security or not.
Now, it's important to note that Ripple's situation and the tokenomics for XRP are very different from other cryptocurrencies. As in, there might be enough air in between what XRP is versus other cryptos in the space, in that the SEC's eventual ruling over XRP might have little impact on other cryptocurrency projects. Charles Hoskinson explains this.
Ripple has some unique properties about it as a cryptocurrency, or a purported cryptocurrency, which many people in the industry believe creates enough air between it and the third generation cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and these other standards, ranging from your rights as a holder of the token to the control of the oversight entity, to the diversity of actors, to how decentralized the ecosystem is, to the use and utility of the underlying token, how the consensus algorithm works, and so forth. There are a lot of facts and circumstances there that it's just impossible to know where the SEC is going with this until we actually read the court filing. But I don't believe on the surface this is going to have any impact on EOS, Polkadot, Tezos, Cardano, Ethereum, or S2 for the time being. This is an older matter, and this is something that's probably been going on now for 2 or 3 years behind the curtains between the Ripple company, whatever the hell they call themselves these days, and the Securities Exchange Commission. And no amount of putting Ben Loskis on your board or other things are going to resolve that.
So it's impossible to say what might eventually happen because of this. We just don't have enough information yet. Perhaps all that comes out of this, obviously besides what might happen to Ripple, which would be negative, but perhaps all that comes out of this as far as cryptocurrency goes is that cryptocurrency exchanges have to tighten up which coins they list.
And it further pushes the burdens of due diligence on exchanges. So I imagine that this could create more conservatism with exchanges for listing new tokens, or force them to evaluate their existing portfolios more carefully.
Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Turn the notification bell on. We will keep you informed. We will continue to provide perspective, just like we're about to do. Before we debunk Ripple's arguments to the SEC regarding Bitcoin, let's conclude with Charles Hoskinson giving his final thoughts, what you need to know as cryptocurrency holders.
By no means is this a small event. This is probably the biggest regulatory event in the history of our industry. And it's going to have a lot of impact moving forward. And we'll learn a lot more over the next week or two as we exit Christmas, and exactly what all this means for everybody and how significant it is going to be. This is not a new thing. This is an event that has been going on for a while under the hood. As I've mentioned, I think that Ripple's probably been engaged with the regulators for at least 2 years or 3 years in private discussions, and clearly something broke down in those conversations, in those discussions. And maybe it's just going to be the case where after battling for years, they pay a fine, there's some paltry registration, and they move on. Maybe it's the case that this is the example that the SEC has been waiting for to establish case law, and they've carefully thought about it, and they've been super strategic. Maybe it's the case that policy is going to so radically change between administrations that this is the Treasury Secretary's last hurrah to try to rock the boat with cryptocurrencies before cryptocurrencies become further legitimized. Who knows? It's an interesting thing. As for securities regulations and laws, that's something I've been dealing with since 2014 with Ethereum. And it's something that the industry as a whole has been dealing with for quite some time. And, it comes down to decentralization, command and control, the buyers and users, and a litany of other things. And there's not a direct overlap of the Howey standard, the Howey test to cryptocurrencies as they are. It seems like a lot of these things are done on a case-by-case basis, and there's not a lot of rhyme or reason as an industry. There's been some attempts to create standards, but they're few and far between. And one of the big bellwethers for a long time in our industry was whether XRP is a security or not. And certainly there's a lot of adherence on all sides. And there was a class action lawsuit that was started in 2018 specifically on this topic. And now we've got to a point where it looks like it's escalated to the actual government litigating it. So buckle up. It's going to be kind of a wild ride for the industry as a whole. But, there's an old saying, the dog barks, but the caravan moves on. And Cardano is just fine. We're going to just keep chugging away and keep doing our thing, as will the other third generation coins like Polkadot and Tezos and Eth2 and so forth. And we'll just keep changing the world and keep adding utility and value. But it goes to show you can't just go hire Mr. Bit license and put them on your board and then somehow all your problems go away, as much as you think that adds value.
All right, here is the most important part. The SEC is attacking Ripple because it can. If your cryptocurrency is not permissionless, is not censorship resistant, then just like what we saw with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook Coin, the SEC, the regulatory bodies, will put pressure on you. They will never be able to come for Bitcoin because it is truly decentralized, permissionless, and undebasable. It is censorship resistant to its core. And really, if you don't want to get sued by the SEC, it's really just a two-step process. Number one, don't sell over $1 billion worth of unregistered securities to a global audience of retail investors with no disclosure for years. And step two, there is no step two. That's it. That's all you have to do. So this really highlights how XRP is different from Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin, but even how XRP is different from cryptocurrencies in general. See, what most people don't understand is that altcoins are good for Bitcoin because it really shows the difference. Now, here's the fly in the ointment regarding, all of this, that Ripple is now attacking both Bitcoin and Ethereum saying it's controlled by China. This is FUD. Let's debunk this. There are many ways to debunk this. I thought this was the most pertinent 1-minute audio clip. Ripple claims that Bitcoin is controlled by China. Nick Carter posed this exact question to a large China-based industrial miner. This was the answer. Listen closely. Follow along with the transcript.
So although currently largest top mining pools are based in China, but you can see that from OKEX mining pool instant we discussed earlier, miners are not loyal to certain mining pool. Once you see a regulatory price or other action that they disagree with, they will switch mining pool very quickly. And if any of the mining pool is trying to harm the ecosystem, I think mining community will also switch right away. And also for most of the large scale miners and mining pools in China, at least, they hold a significant amount of Bitcoin, and I think it is against their interest to do anything that can be potentially harmful to the ecosystem. And as we start to see more mining operation from North America, we will also start to see more US-based mining pool. Bitcoin mining, I think over next 1 to 2 years will be more decentralized compared to any of the previous years where mining became a large operation in China. And lastly, I think it's important to note that over 18.5 million Bitcoin have already been mined, and there are less than 3 that have yet to be mined, and it's going to take a very, very long time to mine them, right? So the impact of miners on price action, I think, is definitely decreasing. And lastly, if you look at just Coinbase and Grayscale alone, they probably custody more Bitcoin than the entire Bitcoin holding of Greater China region. And by the way, there are also other players like Fidelity, which you're very familiar with, and all of them are US-based firms. So I think overall speaking, I think United States have the most power when it comes to Bitcoin, not China.
All right, appreciate you being here with me, talking about the latest information going on in cryptocurrency today. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel because we update you on a daily basis. We cover it all. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you listen to 2 things. Number 1, the full interview with Alex Saunders of Nuggets News, primarily focused on Ethereum. He gives a 2021 price prediction. Make sure you listen to the interview with Dan Held, primarily focused on Bitcoin. He gives a 2021 price prediction. Appreciate you guys. Like the video. See you tomorrow.